In all the years that I've been in the role of Chief Nursing Officer for University Hospital Southampton, two things have remained true. The first is how every day I'm continually inspired by dedication, compassion and care given by a team of remarkable nurses here at UHS. The second is that for me, there could be no other job more meaningful, rewarding or special than the one that I have, working alongside you as nurses. On this International Nurses Day, we're celebrating our profession by sharing some stories about why we do what we do, showcasing the variety of roles we have, and thanking all the teams we work alongside, without whom we would not be able to deliver the standards of care and outcomes we do.
I always wanted to be a nurse. Even when I was at school, I knew that working with children was what I wanted to do, and I thought that nursing was the perfect opportunity for that. I couldn't nurse without the other nurses on the ward, so from our ward manager down to our newly qualified nurses. We work with lots of other teams within the multidisciplinary unit, so the doctors, the physios, the porters, the phlebotomists and everyone in between.
So I came into nursing over 20 years ago. It sounds really basic, but I essentially worked as a care assistant just because I needed to have a job, and then I just fell in love with the idea of looking after people. I think for me that's nursing at its core, whether you work in intensive care or the COVID units or a nursing home, it's meeting people at that point when they're most vulnerable, meeting them when they're at their greatest need, and if you can make a difference to their life at that point in time, that's pretty much the most rewarding thing I think you can do for someone.
I cannot nurse or do my research without our multidisciplinary team. Within research, we work closely together with our R&D project management team. We work closely with our clinical staff within the wards, nurses, the doctors, and we also need our physiotherapists, our ODPs, our laboratory team. So everyone forms part of what we do. We cannot do our research without our teams.
We're here to make sure that our children are receiving the best diagnosis possible. We're here to make sure they receive the best blood tests, to make sure they are receiving the best drugs, and most importantly, to make sure that we are up to date with our clinical practice and we have the most information we can about our children.
Being a registered nurse in the UK has been my ultimate dream. Actually, it's a shared dream between me and my family. I have a real passion to what I do, because I love to work with people, I love to look after patients, and I would like to be an instrument of innovation, and I really would like to see what change I have done to some people. I couldn't nurse out of hours effectively without the help of my clinical leaders, my medical team who's always there in times that I am facing uncertainties. With the help and the support that they've given to me, I have evolved into this new role. I really don't want to forget all those people that's around us out of hours, most especially the medical assistance team or the phlebotomists, because they are the ones who will ensure that patients will have timely blood tests, and then they can help us with cannulation and all those procedures.
I couldn't nurse without the greater team, so everyone from the MS specialist nurses, the community team, the consultants. We have a wonderful housekeeping, cleaning and catering teams. We have the porters, the speci porters. Each person is valuable in their role, and without them we couldn't do our job.
So I couldn't nurse without my colleagues. I'm fortunate enough to work with a vast multidisciplinary team, so that ranges from doctors to physios to social workers and dietitians, and it's integral to the care of our patients within the cystic fibrosis service to work together and to communicate effectively.
Well, I chose nursing as a career because I wanted something that was interesting and that would challenge me both professionally and personally every day, ultimately with the goal to support people through what is one of the most horrific experiences of their lives most of the time. I couldn't nurse without, of course, the patient safety team, where I learn from every day, but also the big UHS team or UHS family, if you wish. It also supports me to develop into my career, which is something extremely important these days, I think.
I nursed because I wanted to positively impact the patient's experience in the hospital, because it can be very stressful and very traumatizing for them.
Throughout my journey, I've learned so much, different skills, and there's constant learning opportunity everywhere.
So I couldn't do my job without hearing from the nursing, the midwifery and the therapy workforces. So I need to be able to hear what's going on, how you think you can improve the way you work, and then it is for me to be able to then work with the digital and IT departments. So I couldn't do my job unless I had those teams behind me.
I want to end by saying my personal thanks to each and every one of you, each and every one of our nursing family at UHS, who despite the immense challenges of the past few years, have continued to strive to excel. Enjoy International Nurses Day and take a moment to reflect on what you do and the differences you make to our patients and the teams around you. Thank you and have a lovely day.